plunge straight into the dark, stormy waters of the Mediterranean. It's the year 1900. A group of sponge divers are sheltering from a severe storm near a tiny Greek island called Antikythera. They send a man down to see what's on the seafloor. Minutes later, he surfaces in absolute terror, claiming he just saw a heap of dead, naked people. Well, when the captain dives down to investigate, he discovers those aren't bodies at all. They're beautiful marble and bronze statues scattered across this massive, ancient Roman shipwreck. But among the elegant vases, the glistening jewelry, and the ancient coins they hauled up from the depths, there was something else. A strange, dictionary-sized lump of corroded green bronze that looked, honestly, like a piece of absolute junk. For 2 whole years, it just sat in a museum, completely ignored. But then, scientists looked closer, and the entire history of human technology was blown wide open.
Okay, let's dive into this. That very lump of corroded metal, which we now know as the Antikythera Mechanism, was hiding an incredible secret. See, after it was pulled from the seawater, the bronze had actually turned into Atacamite. It started cracking and shrinking as it dried. It sat in a pile in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens until it eventually just split apart. And what was hidden inside the rock was absolutely shocking. It wasn't just a hunk of metal, it was a machine.
In 1902, a Greek archaeologist named Valerios Stias noticed something that simply shouldn't have been there. Embedded in the stone were precision gear wheels. And we're not talking about crude, chunky metal here. These gears had perfectly cut, equilateral triangular teeth that were just 1 millimeter long. 1 millimeter. Try to imagine filing that by hand without modern reading glasses or a magnifying lamp. This was the first major shock in our investigation. We had an artifact from ancient Greece dating all the way back to the 1st or 2nd century BC containing precision gear wheels. That level of advanced engineering was considered completely 100% impossible for the ancient world.
The truth is, the technology of the Antikythera Mechanism was so unbelievably advanced that we literally had to wait for modern technology to be invented just to study it. Our modern detectives have spent over a century trying to catch up to this artifact. In the 1970s, researchers used 2D X-rays to peer through the crust, and they found dozens of hidden cogs. But it wasn't until 2005, when an 8-ton, 3D microfocus CT scanner was brought to Athens, that we could finally separate those gears in 3 dimensions. And the investigation hasn't stopped. In 2024, scientists literally had to adapt statistical techniques used for detecting ripples in spacetime around black holes just to measure the mechanism's microscopic precision. Think about that for a second.
For decades, we've basically accepted a standard narrative of computing. You know, Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace in the 1830s, the massive ENIAC machine in 1945. But the Antikythera Mechanism predates those milestones by over 2,000 years. It acted as a highly sophisticated analog computer, which completely shatters the linear timeline of technological evolution we all thought we understood. It completely rewrites the history books and forces us to ask, how on earth did they do it?
Anatomy of an impossible machine.
To figure out how it worked, we really have to treat this like a forensic investigation. When researchers digitally mapped the inside of the 82 surviving fragments, they identified at least 37 interlocking bronze gears. And remember, these weren't stamped out by some modern factory machine. They were meticulously, painstakingly handcrafted from blank sheet bronze. The largest gear was about 5 inches in diameter, originally sporting 223 teeth. These gears all work together in an incredibly complex physical network, specifically designed to calculate the exact cycles of the cosmos.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the type of gearing they discovered. It's called epicyclic gearing. If you imagine a standard clock, the gears just spin on fixed axles, right? But with epicyclic gearing, the axle itself is moving while the gear turns. The ancient Greeks used this brilliant pin-and-slot epicyclic mechanism to literally model the moon's irregular elliptical orbit. Why? Because the moon actually moves faster when it's closer to Earth. Before this discovery, historians firmly believed this type of gearing was a medieval invention, something that didn't appear until 14th century European clocks. Yet here were the Greeks using it a millennium earlier.
And they didn't just leave us the gears, they actually left us the instructions. Those 2005 3D X-rays didn't just separate the metal cogs. They revealed thousands of tiny, microscopic text characters hidden deep within the folds of the corroded bronze. It was a literal user manual for the ancient Greek cosmos. It spells out exactly how the machine worked, detailing the complex motions of the sun, the moon, and the planets, and explaining exactly how they were displayed on the dials. So, what could this ancient computer actually do? Honestly, the capabilities are staggering. It tracked the moon's phases and its irregular orbit. It predicted solar and lunar eclipses decades in advance using a Babylonian cycle called the Saros cycle. It tracked the precise positions of the 5 planets known in antiquity: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It featured a 19-year metonic calendar cycle, and amazingly, it even included a small dial to track the 4-year cycle of the Pan-Hellenic Games, which of course includes the Olympics. So it was essentially an ancient sports tracker running right alongside an astronomical computer. This wasn't just a fancy clock. It was a dedicated calculating machine built for intense, high-level astronomical theories.
The way it operated was an absolute work of genius. You didn't do all this complex trigonometry on paper. You didn't have to. You simply turned a small hand crank on the side of the wooden box that originally housed the device. Turning that crank drove a crown gear, which turned the main gear, and instantly, dozens of interlocked gears would spin, simultaneously calculating the position of the sun, the moon, the eclipse cycles, and the planets. It moved pointers to exactly the right place. It was highly complex mathematics, performed physically, purely through bronze.
And the precision? It's just breathtaking. I mentioned earlier that researchers in 2024 from the University of Glasgow used astrophysical techniques to study this. Well, they were analyzing the lunar calendar ring, which is heavily damaged, but by applying statistical models usually used to find patterns in background noise from deep space, they proved this ring originally had exactly 354 or 355 uniformly spaced holes to perfectly match the lunar year. Do you know what the gap was between each microscopic hole? Just 0.028 millimeters. 0.028. The manufacturing tolerances are almost beyond belief for a handmade ancient tool.
The mastermind behind the mechanism.
So the crucial point we have to ask is, who actually possessed the genius to conceptualize and build this? Who was the ancient Steve Jobs or Alan Turing here? The forensic clues point in a few fascinating directions. First, vases found on the shipwreck were in the Rhodian style, which points to the island of Rhodes. That was a major hub for astronomy where the great astronomer Hipparchus lived. But the calendar names actually match colonies of Corinth, like the region of Epirus or Syracuse. And Syracuse is highly significant, because that was the home of Archimedes, the absolute greatest scientist of the ancient world who tragically died in the siege of Syracuse in 212 BC.
And this connection to Archimedes? It's not just a wild guess. The Roman philosopher Cicero, writing in the 1st century BC, explicitly mentions a device made by Archimedes that perfectly reproduced the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. He even mentions another one built by the philosopher Posidonius. So this proves the Antikythera Mechanism wasn't some isolated anomaly. It wasn't a UFO drop. It was part of a brilliant, established tradition of precision engineering. A master craftsman, or maybe an entire workshop of them, was likely continuing a legacy of design first invented by Archimedes himself.
The ghosts of lost technology.
This entire mystery forces us to confront a very unsettling truth. Human progress didn't just move in a straight line. This incredible flourishing of sophisticated technology was somehow lost, which delayed the age of advanced computing by 2 millennia. We take it for granted today that technology is always advancing, always getting better and faster. But the Antikythera Mechanism proves that just isn't true. And this brilliantly illustrates a quote by the great science fiction author Arthur C. Clarke. When looking at this device, he noted that if the ancient Greeks had fully understood and built upon the capabilities of the technology they created, they would have reached the moon within 300 years. Think about that. We could be exploring the nearest stars right now. It's a haunting vision of an alternate history where the technological dark ages simply never happened.
The crazy thing is, the Antikythera Mechanism is just one object. It was found by pure chance by sponge divers dodging a storm. And that leaves us with a really haunting final thought. There are thousands of unexplored shipwrecks scattered deep across the floor of the Mediterranean Sea. As our modern diving technology allows us to push further and further into the abyss, what other impossible artifacts are down there? What other lost technologies are waiting in the dark to completely rewrite human history once again? It definitely makes you wonder. Keep exploring and never assume we know the whole story.